There's no rest for the weary or for those in the Legal AF podcast world. I just did a hot take to update you on Judge Mehta linking arms with 4 other federal judges and deciding to resist Donald Trump and his attempt to commute the sentences of the Oath Keepers without repercussion out of the Jan 6 pardons, and by blocking in his new order the Oath Keepers, including Stuart Rhodes, from ever returning to the Capitol as a condition of their release without court approval. And already, sort of as I predicted, the Trump administration and its Department of Justice has filed a 2-page motion to have the judge reverse his decision and to declare that he's violating President Trump's powers of pardon. I don't think so. I'm going to break it down for you right here because I got my hands on the motion on Legal AF, the YouTube channel. How do we get here? Judge Mehta linked arms, not literally, but figuratively, with 4 other federal judges in D.C., all of whom presided over these thousands and thousands of cases, who know the evidence like the back of their hand against them, and how egregious and how violent and how heinous their acts were, including the Oath Keepers, who were sentenced to some of the highest sentences off their convictions before a jury for the attempted violent overthrow of our democracy and government for seditious conspiracy. You don't get 18 years for just whistling Dixie, as they used to say when I was a kid. And that's what happened to Stuart Rhodes and the rest. Now, Donald Trump, in his finite wisdom, they used to say infinite wisdom, he decided not to pardon the Oath Keepers. I mean, they were so scary that even Donald Trump was like, yeah, I'm not pardoning them. And he pardoned 1,600 other people, including those that tried to brain, kill, and maim the police. In fact, Donald Trump pardoned the Proud Boys, who were just as bad as the Oath Keepers, if not worse. Right? Enrique Tarrio, the Stuart Rhodes of the Proud Boys, he got 22 years. And he's already home in Miami partying, having been let out the night of the pardon. But Donald Trump didn't pardon the Oath Keepers. But hold that thought, because I think a pardon is on its way. He commuted their sentences. What does that mean? He wiped out 100 years of sentencing and just zeroed it out to have the jailhouse door open, but the conviction stays on their record. Everybody's still convicted. When they write, "Are you a felon?" "Yes, I am." "Did you get a pardon for that?" "No, I did not." I'm just filling out a form now for Stuart Rhodes. Are you still in jail? "No, my sentence was commuted." See the difference? But when you don't get a pardon, you're still under the administration of the court system. And so Judge Mehta was like, all right, bring him in. All right. Condition of release. I'm doing my Article 3 job as a federal judge on my end of the co-equal branches of government, and you're going to have to stay away from the Capitol unless you get my permission. Well, Donald Trump didn't like that. So here's what he's filed. And I'll tell you what I think is going to happen. And spoiler alert, I think Donald Trump can solve his problem by just pardoning them. But here's what they filed in the meantime. United States motion to dismiss the term of supervised release and probation pursuant to executive order. The United States of America, which is just a lawyer for the Department of Justice that they found to sign this thing. As the court is aware, an executive order issued on January 20th granting pardons and commutation of sentences for certain offenses relating to Jan 6th has been declared. This proclamation included the above listed defendants, that's the Oath Keepers, in a list of defendants whose sentences have been commuted. And then they quote from the Nixon case from 1974, where Nixon got a pardon, but not a commutation of a sentence from Gerald Ford. The executive branch has exclusive authority and absolute discretion to decide whether to prosecute a case. I don't disagree with that. The court, Judge Mehta, entered an order today on January 24th, amending the conditions of release. But they go on to say this is without any case law support whatsoever. The defendants, however, are no longer subject to the terms of supervised release and probation, as the executive order commuted the sentences of these defendants. Now, here's the point in the motion. We'll put it up on the screen, where you would look for a series of cases to support that proposition. I mean, if you're going to go balls out, you better have a case that supports it, right? No case, which usually indicates to me that one of two things. There aren't any cases on this point, or the cases on this point are not helpful to them. So just completely sort of made up, unsupported, unsubstantiated allegations. And they go on. As the terms of supervised release and probation are part of the sentence of the defendant. Well, not yet, they're not. The court, because you don't get supervised, let me stop them there. You don't get supervised release until after you're out. So I don't think that's true. The court may not modify the terms of supervised release. The term is no longer active by effect of the executive order citing the Hayman case. The Hayman case from 2019, which I took a look at, They say it stands for the proposition that an accused's final sentence includes any supervised release sentence he may receive, and therefore supervised release punishments arise from and are treated as part of the penalty of the initial offense. I still don't think that means that the commuting of the sentence means it eliminates the pretrial release conditions of a federal judge. And so they argue for to have the order blocking them to continue to return to the Capitol to have that vacated. I mean, look at Donald Trump, man. He not only wants to release these criminals, these people that we all saw with our own eyes and ears watching the videos and all of that, he wants them set free and let them come back to the Capitol. We already have Republican legislators, senators included, who are like, I think this is terrible for the security of the Capitol, what the president just did. That was a Republican. I thought we were the law and order party. That was another Republican. Yeah. And so now you're not only going to you take them out of jail, but now all these wound up crazies out of jail are now going to descend back on the Capitol? Good luck. Looking for what? To hang more Democratic legislators? It was a good move by Meta. Here's what I think is going to happen. I think they're going to wait. The Trump administration is going to wait to see what Meta does. He's going to decide in the next hour, 2 hours, 3 days, whatever it is. I'll come back here and update you. And then let's say he rules against Trump and says, no, I don't think your case law supports it stands for that proposition, and I'm certainly able to do this. Meta's a pretty smart guy. I'm sure he researched it before he entered his order. And so he'll deny the motion. And then that leaves the Trump administration on the horns of a dilemma. Do they take an appeal to the D.C. Court of Appeals, up to the United States Supreme Court, roll the dice with the Supreme Court, which they're going to need for other crazy executive orders and matters in the future? Or does Donald Trump just over the weekend pardon the Oath Keepers? If you line the Oath Keepers up with the Proud Boys, they did exactly the same really bad things. The Proud Boys got a full pardon, probably because they're really close to Roger Stone. They used to be like the militia and bodyguards for Roger Stone, who's a Republican operative and dirty tricks master around Donald Trump for a long, long time. And he probably whispered in Trump's ear and said, I like the Proud Boys. Give them a pardon. Oath Keepers, I really don't like them. And the Oath Keepers didn't get it. But to solve his problem, he would just give them a pardon over the weekend. And then you'd hear from me here on Legal AF, there was a pardon of the Oath Keepers, which destroys and undermines the entire order by Judge Mehta. But we're going to watch this chess match, this cat and mouse, where the federal court is the cat and Donald Trump is the mouse moving forward, only here on the Midas Touch Network. And of course, you're already here on Legal AF, the YouTube channel. Take a minute. We already have over 425,000 subscribers because of you. Hit the free subscribe button. And I'll continue to do all my reporting right here with some amazing contributors you can only find on Legal AF, the YouTube channel. So until my next reporting on all things Legal AF, I'm Michael Popok. In collaboration with the Midas Touch Network, we just launched the Legal AF YouTube channel. Help us build this pro-democracy channel where I'll be curating the top stories at the intersection of law and politics. Go to YouTube now and free subscribe at Legal AF MTN. That's at Legal AF MTN.